Have you ever had the feedback and the client said, "Hey, I don't want to work with Jen if I'm the service provider slash educator because she's working with so and so, insert trainee's name before." Hey, if you have, in today's video, we're going to really dive into like why this happens and also what are some solutions to this challenge that we experience sometimes inside of our salon companies, especially when you have a new educator on board. So, let's talk about first, why does this happen? And I truly believe this happens because let's see it from a client's perspective. They come in, they have a relationship. Let's say in this instance, it's me because I'm their service provider and I'm an educator, and they're going to pay the same price, but they're actually going to see me less and not feel like any more value has been added. So in their eyes, or in the story that they create, is wait a minute, paying the same price, I'm seeing Jen less, and it doesn't feel like anything's been added. And because what they feel like is that the experience is less than, not more than. And so I feel like that really truly is why clients feel this way sometimes. And so let's talk about what are some 3 to 4 solutions. What are 3 solutions that you can do to really help create this communication, connection, and trust when it comes to having an educator, a trainee, and a client. So the first thing is first is we want to make sure before the day even begins, the educator and the trainee have a connection point. They look at their day, they plan their day, they set the intention for the day. The educator can ask questions such as, hey, what's the most important thing that you can learn today? Or, hey, what's a challenge that you're experiencing that I could really help you with today? Because we know that once you plan the day, it's going to help create a roadmap to take any uncertainty out of the day. And when you create certainty in the day, like you feel like you have a bigger win. The other thing that you want to look at when it comes to overcoming this challenge is you want to make sure that you set it up in a way that's going to deliver to the client what's in it for them. I've heard this before in my own company. Let's say I'm the educator again. We have a client in the chair. My trainee is standing behind the client. I'm standing in front of the client. And I say, guess what? I have some exciting news. I'm an educator now. That means Mary is going to be working with us today, and you're going to get the Beyonce experience. And the client's like, oh, okay, cool. But they're still probably wondering, what does that really mean for me? And so let's think of another way we could say that would really be enrolling to the client. It would look a little something like this. Hey, Mary, or hey, Sue, I'm really excited to introduce you to Mary. Like, we've been thinking about you. We already have some great ideas for your hair today. We're excited to share those with you because Mary and I are both going to be delivering an exceptional experience to you. What this means is that we're going to do an extra neck massage. So that neck massage you love, you're going to get a little extra today. It also means that we're going to have the opportunity to do a little makeup touch up on you. And so we want you to leave feeling beautiful inside and out. So let's get started and let's make your hair dreams come true. So do you see how the client gets more enrolled from that perspective? Is they're like, oh, wait, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. So I'm paying the same price, but I'm actually going to get more value, and I'm going to get 2 brains. I'm going to get 2 service providers that can really help elevate my experience. Another solution to this is we're going to make sure that when we're communicating with the client, that the service provider slash educator and trainee are standing in front of the client instead of behind the client. What we know is that this creates connection because it actually creates the shape of a triangle. Yeah. And so if you know anything about triangles have 3 different connection points. They're great at creating connections. And if you know anything about architecture, like the structure of a triangle is almost impossible to collapse because it creates so much connection. And so like when you're doing that and working with a client, that client gets that certainty that like, wait a minute, this is maybe a new person to the industry, but they know what they're doing. I feel connected to them. And that helps everything run more efficiently throughout the experience. Another solution you want to make sure that you're touching base on is that the actual trainee is part of the consultation. So, You don't want the service provider slash educator to be the only one asking questions. Because again, in the beginning, we said we have some new ideas for you. So you both want to be sharing ideas. You both want to be asking questions. And again, that's going to create that trust and that connection between all three people involved. And one thing I do know that is if you are getting feedback from clients and they're saying, don't want to work with Jen because she's going to be working with Mary, a lot of it has to do is because, again, they feel the experience is going to be less than, not more than. So making sure that like whatever you say that you truly deliver on. If it's that extra neck massage, it's an extra neck massage. If it's a makeup touch up, it's a lip gloss or eyeshadow or a blush, or maybe it's just one of those. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. And so I'm going to really invite you to look at your educating process between the client, the educator, and the trainee to really say, hey, what are the missing components? How can we really take this, add these solutions in so that at the end of the day, everyone wins when it comes to creating an experience?